Hey, I'm Zach and I play guitar and you focus.
Hi, I'm Nick and all I do is sing.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I play bass and sing.
Everyone buy Sweet Fall.
Thanks for watching LivMayesTV.
Dude, it was so much fun. Like, it was really cool. I don't know, it was just really cool to see everybody playing at the same place. Like, it's so cool to just be able to walk to one stage and just see a band that you've played with before or that you've heard about and just be able to like, see them doing their thing. And it's just, everybody's so passionate and it's so lovely. Like, I've walked up to so many people and just been like, you love what you do and you love what you do. It's beautiful.
I liked that I just got to, like, I just went and checked out a band I've never even heard of before. You know what? I'm bored. I'm gonna just go check out something I've never seen. I really dug it.
What'd you like?
I mean, I like all these things. It was like a small Warped Tour, so yeah, all of these things.
He's creative.
It was nice to see. It was nice to be able to see new bands and old bands.
Nude bands. Nude bands
Especially.
were probably my favorite. Ever since they passed that law. I'm kidding.
Bands have to suck.
There were no nude bands.
But I definitely.
But that's
enjoyed
something that's going to come to 2015 is going to be nude bands.
No, see, you're going off on a tangent again. But I enjoyed our acoustic set a lot. It was really fun to get to like experiment with that and like recreate ourselves.
Yeah, acoustic was fun. Sorry, I missed it.
Since the release of your latest album, have you got the response?
No. To be quite honest, no.
Here's the thing. Let me explain. So when we were writing that, we thought we kind of got this sort of, in a sense, God complex about it. Like we were like, we're doing something that's beyond us. We're doing something that, because it was what we wanted the EP to be, but it wasn't. And so we were thinking in our heads, we were all like, oh, this is gonna be like, what does it for us, like. And we sort of like got ahead of ourselves in a sense. Like as being a band, we always, any sort of band that's starting, you have to remember that you've got to work your way up. And so we sort of had this idea in our head that we were going to create this album that was going to skip through that series. And so no, it didn't quite do what it did, but in a sense that moth just died right there. Like I just watched its last moth breath. But no, okay, so back on subject. It sort of did what it did in a sense that it knocked us back onto level ground. Because we were writing this and we sort of like, we were away from playing shows, we were away from like seeing live music and things, so we thought that we were doing something that was beyond us. So releasing this album and getting the feedback that we did, which was normal, what we should have had as feedback, it like leveled us out. Like where we were like, oh, we're nothing special. Like we're doing what we want to do, and it's different than other people, but it's still nothing better or nothing. So it really leveled us out as people, as a band. So it, in a sense, it did what it should do, as opposed to what we expected. So I'm really happy with what we have. So yeah, it was nice. It leveled us, because I mean, writing an album, I'm sure every band does it. Maybe they don't. Maybe we're just douchebags. But I mean, like as you're writing it, you're like, this is gonna change everything, and like you get this like complex about it. Like it's almost like a God complex where you're like, this is gonna just blow everyone's mind, and it's because it's what you're passionate about. It's to you, it's everything. But to other people, they're not gonna have this. Everybody has a different feeling about everything. So it was perfect because it leveled us out, and it made us like realize that we still have a lot of work to do, have a lot to move forward to as a band. So yeah, I'm really happy with what happened from it. It wasn't what we expected, but I'm happier with this outcome. You just gotta tack on. You're gonna take that. Whatever.
What does music mean to you?
Everything. No matter if I'm having a stressful day, I'm having a good day, anything going on in my life, music is always that thing that I can go to and like just completely just take a breath from everything.
Absolutely.
Get lost in it pretty much. I mean, you get lost in it, you forget about your problems for a little bit. Anything that may be bothering you, you just get to enjoy life through that aspect.
It's seriously, it's so like that's the most beautiful part to me about Cheap Therapy was that we titled the album what it is to us, and like we get so like I don't know if it's the same for all of you. I know it's the same for me because we've talked about it. But like you start doing your life, you start living as a human, and you do jobs and you do this or that, and it's just you built up. You get this built up stress and just everything throughout your life. It just builds up on you, and like this, like performing, it's everything all like it's an overflow of that, and like so it's almost like a serial killer, in a sense that like. You know, they kill somebody and then they have to kill again and again and again and again and again. And we play a show.
Addiction.
I will kill you.
Addiction is the word.
And yeah, it's addiction. It's like an addiction. And so like we play a show and it's like I want to do this every day for the rest of my life. And like there's nothing that compares to that feeling that you can see. You know, even one person, even if nobody likes your band, like just seeing someone who's like, even if they hate you, like just seeing a reaction of what you're doing to them, the way that it affects them, is insane. Like it's unexplainable. Like the fact that you're, like I've said 1,000 times, the fact that you want to interview us or talk to us, like that blows my mind because something that we can create as a band, that like something that we could just do and that it affects people in a sense is just crazy. That monk right there, he doesn't even know what he just did, but it affected me. Like he's probably gonna do that thousands of times more. He's gonna just drive bomb into somebody and be like, because he wants that. It's the same thing. We play a show and it affects people. Like people are either disgusted by us, they love us, or they just hate us and they just never talk about us again. But the fact that we can affect anybody makes me want to do it over and over and over again. And it's cheap there. It's enough to get all the stress out of everything that I do out on stage. Do you disagree? What is this? What is this?
No, you're just dragging.
It's just
I drag.
funny. It's just funny.
It's
You're
the
repeating
bugs.
yourself.
I'm sorry.
You've been repeating it.
It's okay. What are you two?
I loved the Against the Current show we played last week.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Nate did our sound and nailed it. Like,
Nate at the Irving.
It's nice when the sound
Nathaniel
guy
Adams. That dude gets it.
It's nice when
He gets
somebody
us.
just like, completely understands exactly how you want your band to sound and makes it sound that way compared to like, when you're playing random venues and never heard you before, they're like, oh, I think the like drums should be all the way up here. And you're like, no, they should.
Yeah, I mean that also
And I
gets
just
into
got
the
love
fact.
on my face.
That gets the fact that like everybody's opinion on what it should sound like is different, and so like any sound guy that we have, nobody's ever mixed this bad. And granted, I've been a little bitch about some things of the way we sounded before, and I've complained about it. But I mean, overall, like everybody has their own opinion. It's like doing a weird thing now. It's like moving its ass into the air. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just weird. That's a weird button. You're weird. But I mean, like everybody has a different opinion of what we should sound like, and it's really cool. And so like we do have favorites and things, and we always have support from all the local venues and things. My favorite show overall would be playing, even though I hated the way we played that night, was playing with Early November with Ace Enders. One of my that was my number 2 influence. Playing with him was insane, and they're just dropping like flies. But playing with that was incredible. Even though that show was awful, we sounded awful. The show wasn't awful. We sounded awful, and that was our fault. It was incredible to play with. Aaron, go take it away because I'm dragging on.
I didn't even say anything.
Do it. Bean,
No, it's your turn.
Beanhead.
Be your favorite show.
Favorite show. I don't know. I have trouble.
But
He's
I
like
can name
tall.
it.
He's just
One of the first. It was the first time we
I didn't
returned
mean to kick you.
back to the Hoosier Dome. So we played the Hoosier Dome like once. It was like, it was alright. And then like, it might have been the day after his release show. We played it and like whoever did sound that night killed it. Like, it was so
There were a
good.
couple
Drop
times
the
that
Anchors.
were just there was the day.
Oh, it was Drop the Anchors.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. I worked at an elementary school at the time.
No, it was the day after. Drop the Anchor played it too.
But it was the day after.
Hey, the day after. We opened your CD release show, right?
It was Drop the Anchor.
Was it Drop the Anchor or yours?
Probably drop the anchor.
Really?
I told you, because the year was the last thing you released.
The year was 2 years ahead of us.
Yeah, it was not that. And that's what I'm saying.
Huh. My bad.
All right, My Sweet Fall interview featuring Connor and Kevin, who hates Say Anything.
Me too.
Okay, but yeah, that's the point that I was trying to make. I won this argument. But no, so yeah, and then he calls me and he was like, come play the show, and like I didn't expect anything of it, and it was such a cool show. Because I was angry driving because I was like, everybody on traffic sucks. 3rd graders are mean, they don't like the way I throw a football. And it was a fun show. That was our first show back in the Hoosier Dome for a long time. I get it. Yeah, that's what you're trying to say. That show.
Yeah, that show. After all that, yes, that show.
You're gonna have to just edit me out. This whole
Okay.
Hey, I got another piece of advice. If you want to make music, or if you want to do interviews, or if you want to do anything involving music,
Or anything.
involving anything, go out and do it. Like, who cares? Like, you have nobody to impress but yourself. Like, at the end of the day, like, no matter whose opinion you think you're affecting, like, go out and do whatever you want to do, because at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is yourself. So do your own thing and make yourself happy. And I mean, that's where we're at now. Like, we haven't always had the most support from, you know, people in our lives, but the fact that you can do what we do now and like people support it, it's amazing. So do what you do just to do it. Do it for yourself.